Hello, friends, and welcome to Theme Party the Podcast. I'm your host, Merete Mohs. In case this is your first time listening, here's what we're doing. Every season, I pick a theme, and our team comes up with their own ideas for an audio drama that somehow fits the theme, even if it only fits if you put it in one of those vacuum seal bags and suck out all the air to make it more compact. Once I have made their episode, I invite them here to talk about it. I am thrilled to be here today with my party guest, Alyssa Petrey.
Hello.
Alyssa is a singer and voice actor working in the Lexington-Fayette metropolitan area in Kentucky. Originally from the Tri-Cities area of East Tennessee, she has been involved in many theater productions and musicals in her community over the years, including The King and I, Guys and Dolls, Much Ado About Nothing, The Music Man, and My Fair Lady. Alyssa is a podcast director, sound designer, and voice actor. If you're a fan of Peculiar Radio, you may recognize her as Mackenzie Mac Harrison, and she has recently taken on the role of the executive producer and the voice of Moira Graves in the Collection of Moira Graves. Alyssa, please say hello.
Hello.
Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Congratulations on launching your show, by the way.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
You put so much work into it.
Oh, it's been an absolute whirlwind, but I am so excited to finally bring this project that me and a whole bunch of other people have been working on for 6 months. So, I'm so happy that people are here to enjoy it and can finally receive it.
I mean, the fact that you bring up that it's been only 6 months, and considering when we first started with Peculiar Radio that we did that in, was it 3 years or 4 years? I can't even remember how long it took us to get that first season out there, but good job. What a fast turnaround.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Good job taking the compliment.
Yeah. But also, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been able to remotely do it without all y'all at Lengthy Tangent. So it's also a thank you to you guys, too.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So yeah, it has been an absolute wild ride, and I am very, very proud and impressed of my team for us actually doing this in such a short period of time, but
Totally.
we are taking more time for season 2.
Yes, learn those lessons, everybody. But
Yes.
I mean, if you can do it, great. If you don't have to, why do it?
Exactly. Yeah.
I like to start the show out with a question for myself, asking myself, what kind of party do I think you would be were you, Alyssa, to be a party?
Okay.
This might be a little too on the nose, and I might be influenced by the Collection of Moira Graves a little bit, but I think that you would be a Halloween-themed gaming party would be my guess. I'm thinking friends gathered around the table playing some TTRPGs, scary movies on the TV in the background. Maybe some people aren't paying attention to the game because they're watching the movies a little bit too much, and snacks that are very game-friendly, so they're not getting your fingers too dirty, they're not too messy, but they're still delicious. Do you agree or disagree with this assessment?
I feel that is pretty close. The only substitution I would make is I would do board games instead of TTRPGs because those take a lot more work and stuff like that, as well as especially if you're doing horror themed TTRPGs, everyone's got to come with the right mindset, to really get the most out of those. That's I think the biggest change that I would make, but the rest of it, yes.
Do you have a board game that you're particularly into right now?
Honestly, it's an old kind of a mainstay in my board game collection, but I really enjoy Betrayal at House on the Hill.
So good.
It's just so fun. It's so many different scenarios. And then the Baldur's Gate version that came out 4 to 5 years later.
Oh.
Yes. Highly recommend. It is also very, very good. And I feel like they actually did improvements on some of the systems from Betrayal at House on the Hill. So there you go.
Interesting. Okay. I've played through it several times. I could safely say several times with some friends, and we have not dabbled in any of the expansion packs or updated versions or anything like that because we still have a lot more to play through of the original, but it's so satisfying to play through and try to decide how much you're going to help your teammates or how much you're going to collaborate before the haunt begins. There's absolutely no way to know who's going to be the villain. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't played the game. But you should just play the game. It's really good. Yeah. Okay. I like that. I'm definitely more into board games than TTRPGs. So 100% on board with all of that.
Yes.
So the theme for this season of Theme Party the Podcast is family traditions. Did your story fit the theme?
Yes.
Yay! Fantastic. Do you want to expand more on that?
Yeah, I feel like it happens both in like the framing device part of the story as well as the horror story itself. Like Moira, she's from a family that has had special gifts, like going back generation on generation and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of that there, but then also in the horror story itself, it's very much centered around a older woman and her son and how they're butting heads more and more and more, and like she's done what she thought that she's needed to do for herself, for her family, and her son is like, I don't know about that. So so it's an
I
interesting.
mean, she's pretty terrible.
Yeah, no bones about it. She's pretty awful, but also like she has justified it to herself. Let's say that she needed to go to these lengths to make things secure for herself, for her son, for her family, and then her son was like, "Yeah, no." I disagree a lot. So there's very much Moira is continuing this inheritance of her family while the son Michael is like, yeah, no, I'm not about this.
True. All right. Your episode is called The Collection of Moira Graves. It is, in fact, the pilot for your series, The Collection of Moira Graves. Could you read us your tagline and your logline?
Yes. She has a hoard of stories waiting to be told. A solitary eccentric psychic shares spine-tingling tales from her eerie collection, unintentionally drawing together an eclectic and spirited community.
I'm going to cut you off and say I like the wavy fingers just in like the corner of your screen.
Listen, that's one of the things I love about voice acting is I can do whatever with my face, with my hands, and it doesn't matter because it's only my voice that's getting recorded.
Or it does matter because it can get your voice to do things that maybe the little wavy fingers without it wouldn't do that. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Because this is the woo-woo. This is like the spooky. It's all in the hand right here.
Or you're tickling somebody.
Exactly.
Alyssa's roles in making this episode of The Collection of Moira Graves include executive producer, writer, director, casting, sound design, and production coordination. Let's listen to a sample of your episode.
Welcome to The Collection of Moira Graves. Please come in. Elizabeth vowed that when she grew up, she would always have more than enough for the rest of her life.
I am not leaving! What the hell?
I guess it's too late now.
Alyssa, is there another podcast that inspired you to make your own podcast? And if so, what is it?
Oh my goodness. I really enjoyed the podcast Video Palace, which is a horror podcast. It's very much told sort of in universe with these people kind of going out and like interviewing people with like a little like handheld recorder or video camera or whatever like that. And there's something about it that I found really like immersive and interesting and stuff like that. And then I don't know, this might be like a little like brown nosy answer, but also like peculiar radio. I mean, it's, working with you guys that I was like, oh, I think I might be able to do this.
Aw.
And then Lengthy Tangent put out the call for podcast ideas. And I was like, you know what? Let me put something together. Let me like give this a go.
I love that. Oh, I love that for you. Oh, okay. Yes, absolutely. I am personally a huge fan of brown nosing, so don't ever apologize for that personally.
Gotcha,
Who doesn't love being flattered? Really?
It's true.
Yeah,
It's very true.
For sure. What about things outside of podcasting? Was there anything else that inspired you to make specifically like a horror podcast?
Well, I mean, I love horror, just period. Like growing up, despite being a like scaredy cat, somehow I still found myself reading scary stories to tell in the dark. Like I would rent it from like my school's library, and it had like the original drawings that were like the like really creepy, like sketchy, drippy drawings, and they were so good.
They're so good, but also so traumatic.
Yes.
Who among our generation doesn't know those books and think back just like,
but it was so good. And then I also watched a whole lot of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society and all that. I was on the swim team when I was in elementary school and middle school a little bit, and the episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark that's about the swimming pool monster and like the smell that's a lot like chlorine. Oh, there were some swim practices where if I had just watched that episode, that I was like, I'm just going to go very quickly from the pool to the locker room and out.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. But yeah, for the longest time, I enjoyed like reading it, but I didn't like watch horror movies. I didn't want to go to like haunted attractions or anything like that. But like after college, something changed where I was like, you know what? I'm going to give horror movies and stuff like that a whole nother try. So I ended up actually working as a scare actor for 5 years at a local haunted attraction. And then
my dream job.
being behind the scenes for that kind of like made horror movies more approachable in like my brain for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just dived full into watching all the horror movies. And I'm a full on horror buff now.
Are you yourself afraid of like haunted houses and haunted hayride kind of situations? Or
Not anymore. Like I still get like the thrill out of it, but having worked at one kind of removed a little bit of the mystique enough to where it doesn't like super duper get to me. But like I can still go and have fun, and I can appreciate what the actors are bringing, like how the haunt itself is like establishing like their atmosphere and stuff like that. So yeah. So I now go to them as much as I can every Halloween season, and I very much enjoy it.
I am not that person. I'm the type of person I have to go with someone who is going to be more scared than I am. So I am not so scared. I can appreciate how afraid they are and kind of laugh at like, ha ha ha, you're so scared of things. But if I don't have that person, I am that person. So
Gotcha.
I don't know
That
what
is
that
totally
says
fair.
about me. Maybe I'm bad.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I get a kick out of going with my sister is because, bless her heart, she has like Mark written all over her when it comes to like scary stuff. I've been working with her a little bit, to like things that she can do to not broadcast to all the scare actors in the world that she's the one you want to pick on. but yeah, I enjoy going with her and seeing her get upset.
Delightful.
In a fun way. Like she's there, but because she wants to have fun too. But she gets picked on a lot.
Yeah. We don't want anybody to need therapy for our benefit.
Exactly.
If they're having a good time,
Yes.
and our good time can be parallel to theirs, but not necessarily for the same reasons, everybody's fine.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. And scene. For the Collection of Moira Graves, since this is your first time making your own episode and own series all by yourself, there must have been some production roles that you've taken on for the first time. I mean, we already went over which ones you did for the show, but can you tell us which ones it was your first time doing it and give us a little taste of how it went?
The two biggest ones was being producer and then being part of the casting as well. Like I fully did the casting for this episode of Theme Party. And then, being a producer just in general. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever done that.
Producer for me, when I first started doing it, was like, I've seen that word many times. I don't know what it means. Like you produce a thing, but everybody else is producing things. How is that different? So,
Right. Yeah, it's like in actually doing it, you're like, oh, I'm facilitating the producing. Yeah, it's interesting. Like it actually itches like a part of my brain that likes to make schedules and like have things all nice and lined up and being like, okay, once that's done, then we do have to do this. And then, I need to go back to this and blah, blah, blah. It's also a part of my brain that's like, there's so many things. There's so many little small things. I feel like I'm dying.
It really is a lot. And also the fact that so many of those things depend on the labor of other people to move them along too. It's welcome.
Yes.
It is.
Hello, friends.
Yes, hello, friends. It is both maddening and so satisfying, especially like, I know I'm biased, but I love our team so much. Like, I mean, so many of us have met in person, not just through the internet, but I don't know, we're great. And I'm really excited that we get to be all on the same team working on making fun stories and stuff together. So anyway.
This has been, it's great.
Yeah. What about sound designing a full episode from top to bottom on your own? This is your first time doing that, right?
Yes. First time doing that. Yeah, I helped Lindsay Fawn, who's done a lot of sound design for Peculiar Radio. So I was basically like her assistant for quite a few of the episodes that she did. But yeah, this was my very first time, from the ground up, completely building out multiple scenes, an entire episode, and having to think of flow and things like that. And then with horror, it adds in a whole nother layer of considerations and sound design, like effects that you need to be thinking about, things like that, because you're not trying to just make it sound real and immersive, you're also trying to make it scary. So it has to go through like both filters in order for something to be like, okay, yes, I can use that there. It needs to sound like it fits within the scene, but also like, is it aiding the tension? Is it aiding the scare? Is it aiding, whatever is the thing of the moment?
Yep, totally agree. And I wanted to point out too that as we were talking about how you wanted this show to be relatable to the audience, you mentioned that you wanted this to be accessibly scary.
Yeah.
So not over the top like gore or anything that's going to be something you have to shut off really quick if the kids walk into the room or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I have found that getting into horror myself, that I feel like a big barrier why it took me so long to dive into horror movies, that I felt like, at least for someone who wasn't already part of the community and I could get feedback and ask for recommendations and stuff like that, it felt like there wasn't a really good in-between step to like get you into like horror movies or horror media as like a broader thing. We had our scary stories to tell in the dark, our Goosebumps, our Are You Afraid of the Dark, and all that. But at least, again, as someone who was a bit of an outsider trying to get in, it felt like there was no step between that and then Blair Witch Project or Grave Encounters or It. Heaven forbid I watched It before I was ready for it, or Terrifier.
I'm not familiar. I'm not as big into the horror genre as you, so I may have to Google that one later.
It's very gore heavy.
Okay.
I will just put it like that. And it's of a specific brand of gore that is not everybody's cup of tea. Let's put it like that. So if I had watched that specifically, like kind of early in my days of like getting into horror movies, I probably would have been put off for a little bit longer.
Sure.
So yeah, so that was part of why I wanted, at least, in my section of the world and what I can do, like I wanted something that'd be more proper, quote unquote, horror. It's a little more scary, but it's not full balls to the wall that you can easily stumble across when just going down the list of 20 or 30 top horror movies or whatever. So I hope that this is something that can be a good entry point for people to come into the horror space, because I feel like there's a lot of interesting stories that can be told with horror, and the more people who get into horror means the more people I have to talk about it. So.
Do you like a lot of jump scares in your horror? Since you don't tend towards the extreme gore, at least, do you like being jump scared?
I feel like it's a balance. If it's nothing but jump scares where the scary music is building and or it's a psych out jump scare where it's building the scary, the music's come in and the characters, oh, what is happening? And then it turns out to be a cat that's jumping in frame. I feel like those can do a good job and be useful, but if the movie is nothing but that, it's not so much that it scares me, it's more so at just a certain point I get a little annoyed.
Thank you. I don't like jump scare movies. I do not like the tension. I personally don't mind gore, but if something's going to jump out at me and surprise me, no, thank you.
I feel like there's a time and place, because they can do a good job of either, ratcheting up the tension and then releasing it so that way you reset your tension level and the movie can go on and it's fine. Or you can use it as the monster is around the corner and getting the breathing, the adrenaline, all that sort of stuff, getting it raised up and going. So that way you are primed and ready for the chase sequence that is about to happen. Yeah, I feel like it has a place in horror movies, but if it's nothing but that, it doesn't scare me. I just get annoyed at it. It's come on.
Yeah, presumably some people like that feeling. So good for them. I'm glad there's something for you.
So no, I don't mind jump scares. Gore in general doesn't bug me, but there's a certain level where I'm all right, I'm out.
That's fine.
And then yeah, I do think overall I enjoy kind of more atmospheric stuff where it has like this like low level of tension that kind of like increases and decreases, but it's more about like yeah, getting you like pulled in and sucked in and like just being part of the story. I think those are like the ones that end up sticking with me the most.
Gotcha. Well, that was a very lengthy tangent beyond. I'm going to keep saying the name of the thing. Well, thank you for taking that little walk with me to talk about stuff not related to the question I just asked you. That's fun.
Oh, absolutely. Happy to.
To bring it back to the topic at hand, though, for listeners that might be interested in making their own podcasts themselves, what software or workshop or equipment did you find most useful in making the Collection of Moira Graves?
I would say if you're looking for like sound design and stuff like that, find yourself some good sound libraries. That'll make your life so much easier when you're trying to find that specific vibe, sound effect, whatever, sample. Having those libraries kind of good to go that you can immediately go in and, you know, put in your search terms and have stuff pop out versus trying to troll the internet finding your stuff or hoping YouTube, like the things you find on YouTube are free use and hopefully they're good enough quality and I can use them. So yeah, having those just like ready to go from the get-go is just such a weight off the shoulders. And then for producing, the biggest thing that helped me was a website called When Is Good, which I have found very, very helpful in terms of establishing availabilities and stuff like that, and it's completely free to use. And then, like, I think the biggest thing from a producer's side of things is set deadlines. Like, even if you're not actually pressed for time or have a specific date that you need or want to get this project out of, just having deadlines set period for your writers, for your casting people and stuff like that, just it keeps the project in everybody's brains. If there is something written down, even if it's nebulous, like this date doesn't actually matter. So just having something written down as like a focus or a goal point or something like that just helps keep the project in everybody's brains and can help like with that forward momentum and like making sure this thing is actually getting done.
Yep, that makes a ton of sense. And just finding that if people have stuff on their schedule that comes up that makes that deadline not work out, then you, by setting the deadline probably earlier than what you actually would need, if you do need to have a deadline, then you have that little wiggle room later on in the production time. So yeah, that is excellent advice, I think. I will point out for the sound libraries, we've used Soundly for Lengthy Tangent. I believe that you had used Audio Hero as another resource for your sound. Yes. So if anybody's looking for specific recommendations, I personally love Soundly, and there's other audio libraries out there. There are ways that you can purchase audio packs from different sources and upload them into Soundly so they're easily accessible, and I just love their interface as well.
Oh, and also keep an eye on Humble Bundle. Yeah, I actually purchased and downloaded quite a few different sound packs and things like that from Humble Bundle. And they, you know, they periodically rotate through stuff. So keep an eye out there because I think I downloaded like 3 or 4 different sound packs. And at least some of it ended up being used in this episode of Theme Party.
I mean, it's such a good deal, and don't they also donate to charities and stuff too? So, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
On that note, the character Michael, played by the incredible Molly Michelson, didn't skedaddle when they had their chance before the demon entered the room in your episode. In your experience, presumably without demons crashing the party, what is the biggest hint that it's time to leave or end the party?
Oh, man. For me, it's when especially the host is kind of just standing around. Where there's less and less like engagement happening with not only the people that are guests there, but also the host. Honestly, I just look at the host, and if they're starting to look tired, all right, cool, I'm out.
That is so considerate.
Allow me to dip out so that way you can go to bed.
Yep.
Or like before I dip out, be like, can I take some trash out for you? Or just something like that. Yeah, I usually look at the host as my barometer of like, how much longer am I sticking around? Or is it time to let them go to sleep?
You are a long-lasting person at a party. You're usually not the one that's like, oh, oh, well, look at the time. It's time to go.
No. I mean, if anything, I'm an introvert, so I don't need. I know.
For the audience just listening to the audio, my face did a thing, and I'm surprised.
I know. So, introvert, extrovert, it's all about where you get your energy from, like how you recharge.
Yep.
My dad, major extrovert. If he wasn't being around people at least every other day, like a big group of people, he would get twitchy at home. And he would get like, I need to be talking to people. I need to be finding out things. But for like myself to recharge, I need some time to myself. I need to like completely unplug, throw on a movie I've seen 1,000 times and just play mobile games on my phone. But when I'm at a party, like I enjoy being around people, but I find myself like, I'll just like maybe go sit in a corner and just kind of be on my phone for a little bit and like, 10, 15 minutes. Okay, I'm good. Let me like get back in there. So yeah, I end up being one of the people that sticks around, but it's because I'm taking little breaks to recharge my social battery.
Pace yourself. Pace yourself.
Yes.
I love that. I am way back in high school when I took the introvert extrovert test in some class, or I don't know, like maybe just my group of friends did it. I was right on the edge of introvert and extrovert. So I attribute that to my habit of packing my schedule with too many things and then crashing after a couple of days and then just being like, I have to lay down.
Yes. No, I feel that.
It's been too much.
I feel that really hard. I think I know what test you're talking about. And I think I also was like on the border. I think a little more toward introvert than extrovert, but yeah.
Yeah, we are the same person, but just split in half.
Yes.
So I took a little bit more of one and you took a little bit more. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
that works. But yeah, no, you are not the first person to be surprised by that because I do a good job, jibber the jabber and chit-chatting with new people and stuff like that. But it's very much like I hit a certain point and then I just need to like peace out. I need to go in my hole.
The introverts in my life too talk about how unlike extroverts, they've had to learn to like mask their introversion because it's not generally very polite to just quit in the middle of an interaction with somebody. So, so they have to pretend that they're extroverted. So I guess it's not that surprising that, especially someone who's on the cusp of introversion, going under the radar and being harder to spot. So, yeah, that makes sense to me. Then if that is your idea of when it's time to leave a party, in your opinion, what is an essential element every party must have?
A good spread.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't matter if you're watching movies. It doesn't matter if you're playing board games. It doesn't matter if you're just there to just chit-chat and just hang out or whatever, catch up with each other. Mm-hmm. There needs to be a good food spread.
And by spread, you don't just mean like a dip to put on crackers or something. You mean all of it.
No. We need to have like options, need to have some savory, need to have some sweet. Mm-hmm. Dips are good. A variety of chips, maybe a couple different kinds of drinks. There needs to be like a good variety where I feel like I'm at like a little mini buffet and I can kind of just pick and choose as my mood suits me.
Sure. Is there a dish that you look forward to when you go to different events, like that you hope somebody else has brought?
There's very little that I'm like, oh, this better be there, or I'm just walking out the door if it's not there. But I will say, anytime I see those little mini quiches that someone has done, I really like those.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are fun. I don't know, there's something about them that, and like, I know you just buy them frozen.
It's a whole meal in a bite.
I know, right? And you just buy them frozen at your grocery store. They're just in the freezer section or whatever. I don't know. They're just something I find really satisfying about those. So anytime I see the little mini quiches, I'm like, yes, I know what I'm getting.
I think there's an element, too, of it feels like you're being the tiniest bit responsible about eating a little bit healthy because usually they've got some vegetables in them. They've got a good amount of protein in them, but they're so good.
They're so good. And there's usually like, it's usually mixed with like cheeses and then like whatever little pastry they use to like encapsulate it in is also really good. Yeah.
And they'd be so finicky to make, especially that many if you're making them yourself. I used to be a cook in a hotel and I did not work the banquet side, but I would sometimes help them out. And just tiny fiddly foods are delicious, but such a pain in the butt to make.
I can only imagine how annoying that would be to deal with, and having it like make sure that it's all still like warm and at the temperature you want it to when you like push it out and no thank you.
Yep. Well, on that note, is there a recipe or a real life party food or drink that would fit the theme of your episode that you perhaps would bring to a party?
Ooh. So at like church potlucks growing up and stuff like that, there would always be the wife of the music pastor. She would always bring something called Death by Chocolate, and it is like really simple. It's literally just a crumbled up layer of brownie, chocolate pudding, whipped cream, and then all of that again. So it's just a trifle, I think would basically be like the proper term for it. But it's just really simple and it's just really good. And especially like the longer you let it sit in your fridge, the more it just melds together. And oh, it's so good.
Cream, sugar, and chocolate. What more can you want? Like,
Right.
oh, excellent. Have you ever tried making one yourself, or do you just have to wait until church events to be able to?
So there were a couple times growing up where I would I'd poke mom, be like, can we like buy a brownie mix and some like the cool whip and the thing and like chocolate pudding, please? And she's like, oh, okay. So every once in a while I would make my own version, but
Do people still buy and consume Cool Whip? I feel like as a Midwestern girly, it was so prominent in my life growing up, and now as an adult, I don't know that I'm sure it's in the grocery store, but
oh, there's lots.
Yeah.
There's lots in the grocery store.
I'm sure, but who's buying it? I haven't seen it. I miss it. I should buy some.
I mean me.
You're buying it?
I buy it.
You're doing good work.
I buy it and I make something called pumpkin fluff out of it. That is very good.
What's pumpkin fluff?
Okay, so you take you take a can of pumpkin puree,
Sure.
a thing of Cool Whip, whatever version you want, like less sugar or whatever.
No,
Don't go with like the fat free because then it like gives it a weird texture and it's
I would never.
good, excellent. And then you like combine that with I think it's just instant vanilla pudding mix, and then like your pumpkin spices, and you just fold it all together, let it sit, and then you have pumpkin fluff, and it is delicious.
This sounds like a cheater version of pumpkin pie filling, and I love that. Do you like dip pretzels into it, or what do you do with it?
You can dip pretzels, you can do like graham crackers are also really good, and then sometimes I would just dip out a thing and just eat it with a spoon.
Listen.
Because yeah, it's like you're eating pumpkin filling and it's really good.
That sounds. Look, I'm not here to judge. I already said I'm from the Midwest. I am originally from Minnesota, so if you're at all familiar with that lady who does the Minnesota salads that aren't really salads, relatable. I grew up with something that is in the same vein as pumpkin fluff, but not quite the same. We had pink salad, and it was Cool Whip with cottage cheese and canned mandarin orange slices, and you would mix that all together with some Jell-O powder. The red kinds would make it the pink salad. You could also do green for green salad, and you could swap out the canned fruit if you like. And we would have this, and I don't care who's watching this or listening to this. It's delicious. I know it's not a salad. It is a Minnesota salad, so shut up. It's good.
You got ahead of me. I was about to point it out that that's not a salad.
Listen, salad does not imply vegetable where I'm from. It's
a mix. It's a mix of things.
It's a melange of things. It's good. Try it and tell me you don't like it. Lindsay would not like it, who was on this last episode interview, but it's good. Well, speaking of death by chocolate, coming up with segues to start wrapping up the show makes me want to die by chocolate. So, Alyssa, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. But before we go, could you please tell the people what you're promoting or celebrating right now?
Yes. So the biggest thing is the release of my podcast, The Collection of Moira Graves.
Yay!
It's a anthology horror series that has a connected, overarching plot and framing device. It's a combo anthology series and kind of a serialized plot kind of sprinkled over top of it. I believe episode 2 just released.
Yep.
So once you're done listening to this, you go to the Collection of Moira Graves and whatever your favorite podcast platform is and give us a listen.
Yay! I will also say Lisa has been in a couple of episodes of Theme Party the Podcast besides her own. So they haven't come out yet as of the release of this episode. But actually, no, that's not true. You were one of the voices in The Reach.
Yes, I was Octavia.
Octavia, the evil mayor?
Quote unquote.
Lengthy Tangent seems to love our evil mares. So that is a thing. Where can people find you?
So you can find me at Petrey VO on Blue Sky.
Petrey spelled Petrey.
Yes, thank you. Or Petrey Voiceover on Instagram.
And we will put those links in our show notes.
And then if you want to follow the Collection of Moira Graves on social media, there is a Blue Sky account for the Collection of Moira Graves under Moira-Graves.
Excellent. Well, then that just leaves me to thank Alyssa Petrey for coming to my theme party.
Yeah.
Thank you also to Bad Machine for making our show's music and to Alyssa Esteban for our show art and for story development. Another huge thank you to Alyssa and everyone involved in making the Collection of Moira Graves. If you want to learn more about the episode and all of our shows, you can visit our website, lengthytangent.com. We've also got a Patreon page for everything from Lengthy Tangent, so pop on over there to see what we've got to offer. Be sure to follow us on social media, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and rate and review if you've enjoyed the show. Our next episode will be a first-person narrative on found families entitled Firsts and Lasts by Neda El Sayed. Once again, our theme for this season has been Family Traditions. I've been Merete Mohs, and this has been an interview episode of Theme Party the Podcast. Thank you again, Alyssa. Celebrate creativity. I was getting riled up over salads, so...
We'll just edit that part out.
Lengthy Tangent.